What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another favorites video for you. So today I'm partnering up with Mooncat because they're actually having a site-wide 20% off sale, and I feel like now is a great time to share my top 10 favorite Mooncat polishes that I think are must-haves. They also just released a brand new shade that is eligible for the 20% off discount, so I am going to swatch that as well. But first, let me just share a little bit about Mooncat if you haven't heard of them before. They are a nail polish brand based in the US, and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So really quick, just a few details about the sale. It is going on from now through November 12th. Now this discount is excluding gift cards as well as collaboration nail polishes, and also just a note, the 20% off cannot be stacked with other discounts. But all of the polishes that I am reviewing today are eligible for the 20% off discount, including, like I said, the new shade. So let's just go ahead and start with that. This is the new shade. It's called Your Heart's a Black Hole, and this is actually a magnetic polish. So we've got this deep red base. We've got a lighter magnetic red shimmer. So when you hover your magnet over it, it turns into just this gorgeous light red magnetic stripe. And it's also got a micro hollow glitter running throughout. So this is actually a super gorgeous shade. I'm wearing it right now. I've been wearing it for the last few days, and it is stunning. I have been getting so many compliments on it, so I'm already really into this color. It's gorgeous. It's actually not a limited edition shade, so it is here to stay, which is very nice because it's really beautiful. So yeah, now let's get into my top 10 favorites. I will say one thing that I love about Mooncat is I feel like they come up with really unique polishes, and the shades that I tend to reach for the most from them are just these really unique color combinations that I just have not seen from other brands. So that's what you're going to be seeing a lot of today. But yeah, let's just get started in no particular order. We've got the first one, which is Moonicorn, and this was actually part of their Misfits collection, and oh my goodness, I actually love that whole collection. It was very hard to narrow it down, but spoiler alert, I do have another Misfits polish in here as well, but this one was just such a standout for me. It's this really soft, warm-toned lavender base, and it is absolutely packed with this greenish blue shimmer, and I love that stark contrast. I think it's so beautiful. It's so eye-catching. It really has an otherworldly kind of look to it, and it's so soft and delicate. There's also a little hollow sparkle running throughout that just makes it feel even more ethereal and dreamy. And I also just feel like this kind of color you can really make work for any time of year. You know, right now in the colder weather, I'm thinking this is such a perfect winter shade, but I feel like this also makes such a great spring color, and with that intense shine, I feel like I could also see this being a really good summer shade. Definitely into it. Really incredible formula, really easy to work with, so a shade I very highly recommend. Next up, we have the shade Pomegranate Seeds, and this is another really stunning one. This is one of the most unique polishes that I own. It's actually a combination of so many things. So we've got this warmer toned base that's like a purpley magenta kind of color, but it is so packed with this intense blue shimmer that turns it into like a cooler toned purple. And then we also have these metallic flakes running throughout that just add such a funky dimension to it. And this is going to be a recurring theme throughout this video because I think Mooncat absolutely excels at doing these shimmers with a really unique flake running throughout, but there's just something about this that has caught my eye and I just cannot get enough of it. Also, I just think that that blue shimmer in there is just so vibrant and mesmerizing, so really stunning. It's definitely got a little bit of like that evil vibe to it, and again, I feel like this is a color that I can make work for multiple seasons, so I really appreciate that. Next up, we have the shade Midnight Drive, and this is actually one I've never talked about before on my channel, and let me tell you, for years, you guys have been telling me that I needed to try this polish, and oh man, you were right. This is the most stunning shade. I cannot get enough of it. It's a cool toned purple cream, which is my favorite type of polish, and the formula is just outstanding. This is actually one coat full coverage on my nail length. I do have short nails, but I still think that opacity is so impressive. It's a nice medium tone. I feel like, again, it's just a very mesmerizing color. You're gonna hear me say that a lot throughout this video because all the polishes that are my favorites I think are very mesmerizing, but this is just my favorite color to wear on my nails, so I am in love with this formula. It's very good. I highly recommend it. Moving on, we have a shade that I don't think will will be a surprise to anybody. This is House of Hades from their Underworld collection, and this is a very coveted nail polish. It's actually relatively new, but it just took over the world, I feel like, and I can understand why. It is an incredible polish. It's this deep blue, almost jelly-like base, and it is just packed to the brim with these iridescent blue flecks that are super teeny tiny. They almost give off like a shimmer. It's just such a stunning shade. It really is one of those colors that once you put it on your nails, you can't stop looking at your nails, and it kind of has that lit from within glow because it's a deeper base, but it glows that sort of blue color. I will say, I don't think my swatch does this one justice. I think this is one of the kind of shades that you need to see in person in order to really appreciate. It is a little bit on the sheer side. I do need 3 coats for full coverage, but I absolutely think it's worth it because it is so stunning. Next up, we have this shade Catfished, and this is another shade that I just cannot get enough. Well, I keep on saying the same things. I'm sorry, but all of these polishes are mesmerizing and I can't get enough of them, so I'm sorry. But this one is a really beautiful iridescent full coverage flaky, and it's this soft like turquoise kind of color, but around the edges you see a little bit more of blue into like an indigo into purple, and it is so beautiful on its own. I would say it looks a little bit lighter on the nail than it does in the bottle, but what's really cool about this polish is that you can also wear it as a topper, and that is something that I have been really enjoying doing with this shade, and it's something I really like doing in general with iridescent polishes, but this one is just so beautiful and transformative, and it works especially well, I think, over purples and blues and greens because it really lends itself to those colors. So another polish I highly recommend. You can keep it very light and simple and dreamy if you wear it on its own, or if you want to make it a little bit more deep and mysterious and maybe just like a little hint of evil, then you can put it over a dark color. Next up, we have the shade Velociraptor. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on in this polish. It's actually wild. So it's this teal green kind of base. It's actually got a reflective shimmer running throughout, which just adds a little bit of like this cartoonishly bright sparkle to it. And then it also has iridescent flakies running throughout that head on look mostly red, copper, orange, and then this very cool toned indigo purple kind of color. And it dries to a matte finish. So this is truly just so much in one bottle of nail polish, and it's so many elements that I would never expect to see together, but they work so beautifully and just create a polish that is so unlike anything else I own. It also looks really beautiful with a regular top coat, but I think it really excels as a matte polish because you can really see how opalescent those iridescent flakies turn. And this is also the first time that I have experienced a reflective shimmer with a matte finish. I think that's just so unique, and I don't know, there's just something very unreal about it that I really like. Next up, we have the shade Fake Halo, and this is actually one of the first polishes that I tried from Mooncat, and this was the beginning of a journey of discovering a really incredible brand. But this one is this beige nude linear hollow polish. It is so holographic. It's absolutely stunning. I just really love seeing the combination of like a nude or a neutral polish combined with an intense shimmer or an intense hollow. I just think the duality of that is really gorgeous, and there's just something about this that just feels like the perfect office appropriate shade while also having that intense rainbow gorgeousness to it. Definitely a shade I really enjoyed, definitely a shade that started me off on this journey, and I'm very glad that I finally tried the brand because I really love them. Next up, we have the shade Dark Horse. This is a relatively new one to my collection, but I absolutely have to mention it because I think it is stunning. This was part of their Midnight Rodeo collection, which honestly I loved all of those shades. Highly recommend checking out that video as well if you're looking for some recommendations. But this one was just such an incredible formula, and it's such a beautiful color, especially for this time of year. It's like this deep brown duochrome polish, but there's really so much going on in here because looking at it head on, we get the brown, but we also get this like coppery red kind of color. And then around the edges, it shifts into a lighter orange color and then into yellow and even into green at extreme angles. So it's super beautiful. beautiful, but the formula is phenomenal. This is another one that's a one coater on me, and I just find it to be really impressive and really beautiful. And then we have a shade that I have mentioned a bunch of times, but I absolutely have to mention it again. This is Flight of the Monarchs, and this is a really beautiful, shifty kind of polish. I actually included this in my favorite orange nail polishes video, even though I don't know that I would classify it as an orange because it's really just a lot of colors. I feel like in the shade, this one almost looks like a purpley magenta kind of color, but when the light hits it, it has this intense iridescent shimmer that head on looks like a coppery orange, and then it goes into like yellow, and it's just so beautiful. I feel like this is one of those pearly kind of shades that's very misunderstood, and people don't appreciate how beautiful it is because it does look a little bit different in the bottle than it does on the nails. But I really think it's worth trying. I think it's super stunning, and it's really unlike any polish that I have. I think this color combination is super unique. And last but definitely not least, we have Space Oddity, which is the other shade from the Misfits collection. This is a polish that I have just wanted to wear constantly since I discovered it. It's a really beautiful, full coverage, flaky, that has a little bit of like a multi-chrome vibe going on. So head on, it just looks like this gorgeous purpley fuchsia color, but it really shifts a lot depending on the angle you're looking at it. It can turn into like a red, into a copper, into a yellow, into even a green at extreme angles. Because it's that flaky instead of being like a shimmer, it has this multifaceted look. So whenever you move your nail, the light is going to hit some part of that flaky and make it just look really interesting and unique. Now, as far as I'm aware, this was in the Misfits collection because it was part of a collection that never saw the light of day. I have just gotten it in my head that I need whatever collection this came from because this is a perfect polish and I want it in every color. Hopefully one day Mooncat will make a collection of these, but until then, Space Oddity is gorgeous and I highly recommend it. But yeah, those are my top 10 picks for what I think that you should consider buying during the Mooncat sale. Like I said, it's running from now through November 12th, and you just need to use the code LUNAR20 to get 20% off of your order. I will link everything down below and put all of that info down there, but I would love to hear from you. What do you think of my picks? What picks from Mooncat do you recommend? Are there any polishes that I don't own from Mooncat that you think I should grab during the sale? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. And if you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals Paula, Ken, and Rosie. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact, I'm going to be posing a question to you, and my question is, what nail polish finish do you think is the most unique finish? Because I own a lot of nail polishes, and I feel like, I think it's easy to say the most common finish of nail polish is a cream finish, but what would be the most rare finish? And not like a combination of 50 things. Like, obviously it would be very hard to find a polish that is holographic, thermal, a jelly, full coverage, flaky, multi-chrome, iridescent, reflective glitter. But like, what's like the one finish that is, in your opinion, the most rare? That's what I want to know. Did I say rare or unique? I don't remember, but what's the most rare and unique? I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.